All right, folks, quick one here. Very quick one. We've lost to Nottingham Forest, to no surprise, because we ended up on the pitch having Scott McTominay, a man who is useless at playing any form of defensive role, in the main defensive role. We had Christian Eriksen in midfield, who literally has a pacemaker and cannot run. We have Bruno, one of the worst Manchester United captains that have ever graced the shirt. Don't care what people say, it's a fact. The amount of losses, the amount of bad records this guy's been involved in, at some point you've got to say, actually, maybe he's kind of a factor about this because he just gets ignored. You've got wingers and strikers and just general players that can't score. They're just not scoring enough goals. I think Luton have scored more goals than us. I think we've let in more goals than most. We've ended up on the pitch with no Martial and no Højlund. So we've ended up with Rashford up front, with Anthony flanking him, who's not good enough, with Garnacho, who is hit and miss. And we've got Dalot, who is a failed right back, because Wan-Bissaka's playing right back, and he's now playing left back over our proper left backs in Regulion. So if Luke Shaw is injured, you would play Regulion. He's the attacking left back. He's the left back. If you really believe Regulion is not fit to be the left back, no idea why he was signed. And if you really think Dalot was good enough to be the right back, why do we play Wan-Bissaka at right back? We're constantly chopping and changing who we think the best is. We've got Evans just trying to fill in, and Varane who's hit and miss, and Onana just can't save a ball, man. I'm sorry, but he can't. The main thing I want to get about this is Mark Goldbridge and just the general consensus of these players. So I want to show you something here. I'll try my best to show it you. If we head over to the gameplay screen, you'll see here Super Scott McTominay. He was bigging him up, and every time a player has a semi-okay performance, they get bigged up. They don't deserve to be bigged up because we know the players are inconsistent and we know the following match they will not perform. Now, if a player goes on a 6-7 game run and he's tearing it up, give him a video and explain how good he was. Fair enough. But we know these players are massively inconsistent, so why are we hyping them up when they do one good thing, and then we're surprised when their levels drop? Because the players know and the club know that one good performance is enough for these absolutely... They're just cringe fans, mate, to be honest. They have no standards. I'll just say it. You've got Mark Goldbridge saying, I'm actually at the point where I'm just drained and tired. Man United are utterly fucked. Years of bad decisions. Well, yes, there are years of bad decisions. But what we're forgetting is you, particular, and other people constantly will do this. Ten Hag, a disgrace. Ten Hag masterclass. Now, what he will say is, I just call it how it is. If Scott plays well, I call it out. If Scott plays badly, I call it out. Yes, but you've got to be a bit smarter and think, if Scott McTominay has one good game every 20, maybe don't go overboard with the praise. Just say, yeah, he had a good game, but we know he's not good enough. And if he keeps it up, fair enough, but we know he won't. We go overboard. We get excited when Bruno gets an assist or when Rashford gets a goal. It's a big thing, right? We're getting these performances. We're getting these inconsistent performances, and they're being hyped up. That's all I've got to really say. It comes as no surprise, comes as absolutely no surprise that we're not scoring goals with Marcus Rashford, Anthony and Garnacho as our attacking trio. It comes as no surprise that we have no defensive ability with Bruno, McTominay and Eriksen as a midfield three. It comes as no surprise that we're letting in errors at the left back and Alanga's skinning people because Dalot is terrible. And it comes as no surprise that we're conceding a lot of goals because Onana is terrible. It's really not... It doesn't need a 20-minute analysis. It doesn't need a 50-minute analysis. It is what it is. The reason I didn't do a review of the Aston Villa game was because I just thought, well, Aston Villa slapped us in the first half. And if they'd have had Pau Torres and they'd have had their proper players, they'd have just walloped us anyway. It was nothing to get excited about. I have no idea what... Ten Hag, by the way, brought on McTominay for Kobe Mainoo. He said it was tactical and he stands by it. Well, what can you say? Manchester United goals, 21, 18th. XG performance, 20th. Shot conversion, 20th. First half goals, 20th. We can't score. Why is it a surprise? We have people like Martial, Ronaldo, Sancho. We have people that can commit. We could even play Scott McTominay up front. We have Højlund. These people aren't getting any goals because they've either been kicked out of the club, they've been told they're not good enough, there's this, there's that. And by the way, I agree that Sancho shouldn't play. But the point is, we're not scoring goals and it's just absolving the manager of all sin. Okay, the players are shit. We know that. You're the one that keeps picking him, mate. You're the one that keeps telling us that was the correct decision to do that tactical move. It was the correct decision. We played well. Let's just say we played well all the time. We're not playing well. We're objectively not playing well. Look at the league table. We got slapped in the Champions League. We're not playing well. We can't score and we can't defend. He's one of these managers people don't understand. Like sometimes you'll see, say, Jose or Pep or Klopp going for a goal and they'll bring on a defender and they'll think this makes no sense and then they'll score. We have this mentality of you just put attackers on the pitch. Oh, we're not scoring goals. Eriksen comes on. Scott McTominay comes on. Oh, let's put Garnacho on, Rashford on, Anthony on. The young lad that's just come back from injury, Ahmad. Let's put Ahmad on. And you just add more and more and more attackers and you just have no control of the game. And yes, you've got a load of attackers on the pitch, but you're less attacking because they haven't got the ball in good areas. We need a solid defence. We need a proper defence. To be honest, it should be Kobe Mainoo and it should be Bruno. And he should tell them, you sit there and you don't move. And Bruno, we know you've got the ability to play long balls and passes. You sit back, stop bombing up. Maybe Eriksen goes in the 10. Maybe Scott McTominay goes in the 10. Whatever it is, you can't just have Bruno running around, Scott McTominay running around, Eriksen who can't run around, and then sub off Kobe Mainoo. And I don't like the players. I don't have any affinity to players. I have an affinity to Manchester United. The players are not good enough. We can get rid of them. The manager's not good enough. We can get rid of them. There's no big problem. People get way too attached to players and they get way too attached to managers and things. The reality is that was an appalling game. Onana has not been dropped this entire time. The manager has told Onana, your performances are good enough to keep your place. The same for Bruno, the same for Varane, the same for Dalot or whoever. When they keep getting picked, he's telling you and the fans, this man is good enough to play for Manchester United and he's performing at a level that I am happy with. That's all you need to know. Let's be honest, probably our attack should be Ronaldo, Greenwood, and a proper left winger that was purchased with maybe like a Stupion at left back or something, right? But instead, we've ended up with Anthony, Garnacho, Rashford up front, Martial not there, Højlund not there. It's just this weird team. I have no idea what he's doing, and I just get bored of it. Alanga is a better winger. I want you to hear this. Alanga is a better winger than Anthony. I won't hear anything about it. He is. If you want a person to get in behind and put balls into the striker, you need pace and you need the ability to go past a man or just mad pace. Anthony Alanga is a better player. There's a reason Ranić kept playing him. We have a lot of stupid fans in the fan base, to be honest. Just look at the team. I remember Ranić saying, you're not going to get anywhere with this whole bunch of players, and everyone went, oh, he's been too cruel, he's been a bully. He was spot on. Yeah, I have no idea what on earth people are. I don't even know what they're getting mad about, to be honest. There's nothing to get mad about. We have a bunch of underperforming players and an underperforming manager. Just get rid of them. Can it be any worse? Yeah, it could be. And if it is worse, you get rid of them. And then if it gets better, you keep them. And then if it gets really bad, you get rid of them. This is not rocket science. This is what Chelsea did. You maintain standards and you win things.